going, guys? Welcome back to another exciting episode. Today we are going to be learning how to fish a river with a fly rod. As some of you may know, my confidence when it comes to fly fishing rivers is not great. I'm a lake man myself, still water all the way. But you know what, dude? Rivers can be quite fun when you can figure them out. Some of my favorite memories have been on rivers, so I don't know why I don't fish them more. But I gotta get better at it. So we're gonna be pulling out the 4-weight, fishing some creeks. Should be a fun day. We've got a storm blowing in probably tonight, and it's gonna snow a lot tomorrow. So today it's really overcast, a little breezy. But sometimes the day before a storm, the fish can be feeding quite a bit. So fingers crossed we catch some good ones. But yeah, we're gonna get to this first creek and let's do this thing. All right, folks, here we are. Finally made it. I actually missed the turnoff and drove around for about 15 minutes looking for this spot, but we made it. And I fished here last fall, and clear up there's a little tunnel that goes under a road. I hooked like a 19-inch brown under it. No lie, like it was a giant, maybe the biggest brown I've ever caught out of a river, and he popped off. Like, I was so pissed off. I didn't even make a video that day. So I'm here for some redemption. Right off the bat, that looks like a juicy run right here. I'm very excited. I'm very excited. So I'm gonna get rigged up. Let's get after it. We're gonna start off with a little size 18 ice cream cone chronomid under an indicator. Fly is tied by yours truly. I think we're gonna cross so I can fish this run right here. Just cast at a 45-degree angle. So we're gonna walk clear to the bottom of this run and cast directly up. I don't want them to see me. And our best chance of catching a fish right here is gonna be on the first or second cast. Last time I was here, I got skunked and lost that giant brown, so we gotta redeem ourselves. It was not a terrible cast. Oh my gosh. Guys, there's a giant brown right there. I can see him just sitting in the middle of the current. Let's see if you guys can see him though on my camera. I'll zoom in on him. He's just sitting right there. Can't believe I didn't spook him. All right, let's get this guy. The wind is blowing my fly around. And I think I spooked him. I can't see him anymore. He's gone. Dang it. I don't know. Brown trout are so smart. It's probably why I don't fish for them. I just need a fish that's almost as dumb as me. Dang it, man. Well, we've seen a nice brown, so there are fish in here. That is good to know. We're not just fishing an empty creek. Pretty sure that was just the bottom. Well, maybe not, but I think it was. There's a fish. There's a fish. Yes. Yes. That's a fish. Rainbow. Rainbow, folks. Yes, dude. Can't believe I actually caught a fish. It wasn't, I mean, it's not as big as that giant brown that was sitting right here, but I'm pretty happy. And it's just a little rainbow, so nothing to get too worked up over. We will get him off here. It's a good warm up to the giant brown trout though. First one of the day. Avoiding the skunk. That is good. Still cool. See you, buddy. I suppose if I really wanted to target nice brown trout in here, I'd tie on a streamer. Then again, I don't even know if I have any streamers with me. I just don't fish streamers. It's not as fun as watching that indicator go down, I guess. Oh, there's a fish. Oh my gosh. I was wiping off the lens of my camera and my indicator just flew straight to the side. Like that was a fish. That was not a snag. It was all the way off to the side. I'm guessing there's probably a lot more stalked rainbows, because where there's one, there's usually a lot more. They kind of hang out in groups. So maybe just another stalked rainbow, but there's gotta be a chunky brown down there. Oh, that might have been a fish. I can't tell for sure. Another, yep, that's a fish. That's a fish. Yep, that was a bite, folks. This is a little bit nicer one. It's a bigger rainbow. That's a chunkier fish. Maybe I'll go grab my net up at my truck. I was like, I probably don't need them. These are just small little river fish, but dude, there's nothing like fighting a strong fish on this little 4-weight, 8-foot 4-inch 4-weight. I absolutely love it. That's what they do all day, every day. Just fight the current. So they get really strong. Yeah, that is a chunkier fish. He's been in here a year or two. You never know. We might cook one of these guys up. But thanks for biting, buddy. That's the biggest fish I've ever caught from this river, which isn't saying too much. Let's do that again. So that one that I thought was a bite was definitely, like, I think it was a bite. Another one. Next cast. Next cast. Same spot. Okay. That is a juicy little spot. Heck yeah. Instant hookup. There we go. Number 3 on the ice cream cone. Fly tied by yours truly. You know what? Maybe I'll start selling some chronomids. Another tip, if you stop getting bit at a spot, but you think there's more fish down there, like this is a really good looking run. It gets really deep. So I think there's still fish to be caught. I'm gonna adjust my indicator down a lot deeper. I was only fishing about 20 inches. Now I'm gonna go about maybe double that, because I just looked down in there. It gets pretty deep. And a lot of those fish might just be hugging the bottom. So if we can just get this fly all the way down in the mud, bouncing off some rocks, might be able to get into something else. So just trying different depths, constantly adjusting your indicator, just finding where those fish are at. And again, I'm giving tips for fishing rivers when, you know, I'm not super experienced at it. I'm a lot better at lake fishing. I mean, I guess I know a couple things. Like right there. What did I say? Adjust my indicator. That's a brown too. Nope, that's a rainbow. But right here in front of me, I adjusted my indicator down a lot deeper and he picked it up right off the bottom. Or no, what is this? Wait, no way, no way, no way, no way. I did not just catch this. I did not just freaking catch this. No way. No way! A freaking whitefish, bro. A freaking whitefish. What? What? This is the second whitefish I've ever caught in my life. And they're in this creek. I forgot to mention that. I didn't even feel the need to mention it because I thought it was impossible we were gonna get into one. But this creek has whitefish. They're super not common. This was the last thing I thought I would catch. I thought it was just gonna be a bunch of rainbows, maybe a brown here and there, but we just caught a freaking mountain whitefish. I'm gonna leave them in the water. I don't have my net, of course. Wow. Settle down, my friend. Oh my gosh. That is beautiful. I've only caught one whitefish any other time in my life, and that was in Idaho on the Salmon River. I caught one on a spinner on accident. I didn't even really know what it was. Since then, I mean, I haven't really been targeting these because we just don't have any around here, but we just caught one on my fly. All right, I'm gonna get this fish back. I just fell in the river and got soaking wet, but I got a good picture of this guy just to prove it happened. All right, buddy, and I've kept him in the water. I really want this fish to be okay. I don't know how sensitive whitefish are, so we're being very careful, but there we go. One more look at him. There he goes. See you later. Heck yeah. But yeah, anyway, folks, as I was getting a picture of that fish, I slid off this stupid rock and fell up to my knee, soaked my jeans, and got water in my right boot. So that blows. Yeah, so much for wearing these boots, trying to stay dry. That right there does make this trip, though. If we don't catch anything else, that would suck. But I just caught my second whitefish of my life. First one ever on a fly rod. I don't know, some of you who live in places where there's a lot more whitefish, you know, up north, you're probably like, oh yeah, whatever. But for me, we just don't have them here. So that's crazy. Next up, giant brown. All right, let's try going even deeper. I'm not hanging up on the bottom, so once I start like dragging the bottom, then I'll know I'm too deep. But until then, I'm just gonna keep going deeper and deeper because that's where these fish are gonna be. Oh my, a mosquito literally just flew into my eye. What the heck? Jeez. First mosquito of the year. Hey. You know what? Let's try a new bug. I'm sure all the fish down there have seen this ice cream cone about 20 times by now, so. Lots of good options in there. I think let's try, let's try this little, I've used these before. That little guy with a white bead head. I've done well with these before. Oh, that's a big fish. That's a big fish. Oh, that's a giant fish. That's a giant fish. I thought it was hung up on the bottom. I literally set the hook and I was like, it's a rock. That's a giant fish. What do we got? Oh my gosh, my reel just fell off. What in the heck? My reel just fell off. What? Hold on. Hold on. That's a giant. That's a giant. No, gosh. What? Are you kidding me? He just broke off. You've got to be kidding. What? All right, stay calm, stay calm. Do you guys just understand what happened? I think that was a big brown. He took me all the way down here. My reel came off. First time that's ever happened. What even? My reel just wasn't seated in good enough? Are you kidding me, bro? Piece of trash. Not the reel, but the rod seat. There's like, thought I just set the hook into like a rock because that fish was so heavy. Like that might have been the biggest fish I've ever caught on fly rod in a river, and my reel just comes off randomly. I'm not happy. In fact, I'm kind of pissed. All right, we're moving on from this run. We've spent an hour just fishing this little run right here. Caught 3 rainbows, missed a big brown and a whitefish. Not bad, but let's keep moving up river and see what else we can find. All right, this is the spot where I lost that giant brown trout last fall. We're here for redemption, baby. Hooked up, folks, on a big fish, big brown. I've been fishing this spot for like 30-40 minutes. Not a single bite. I just tied on a balanced leech about 5 feet under the indicator, threw it right up against the falls, and I just get smoked by a big brown. Here we go. We cannot lose him. I've got my net. I got it from my truck. This is a big brown. Finally, dude. He's not as big as the one we lost earlier, I will say that. But this is still like a freaking 16-inch fish. I'm happy. Woohoo! Look at that. Got him. Oh, that's bigger than I thought. Whoa! Yes! Oh, baby. Maybe these browns want something a little bigger. You know, they're hungry fish. So tied on this brown balanced leech. I actually found it on the shore of this lake recently, and man, he took it down. That is flippin' awesome, dude. This is the nicest brown I've caught in a good while, let alone on a river. This might be the biggest brown I've caught on a fly rod in a river, actually. That is sick. I mean, look at that guy. Wow, man. I am so happy. All right, I got some pictures of this guy. We're gonna send him back. This is probably, I can't remember the last time I've caught a brown like this in a river. He probably goes about 17 inches, 18 inches maybe. Off to fight another day. That's my redeemer fish. I mean, that one we lost earlier was probably a bit bigger, but I mean, that makes up for it. I'm happy. Whew, glad I brought my net. All right, I think it's time we move to a different stretch of river. We spent about 2.5 hours here. Caught a few rainbows, a big brown, broke off on a big brown, and a bonus whitefish. So can't complain about that. All right, so we've made it to our next location. It's the same river, just up a few miles. And real quick, I just wanted to build a little fire to try to dry my sock out because it was just soaking wet. Oh, so I'm just trying to dry it out a little bit before we get back out there. All right, here we go. Now that we're kind of out in the open more, the wind's a little worse. It sucks, we're gonna be casting directly into the wind. All right. Fish on, guys. Unbelievable timing again. Literally my camera dies, starts beeping, and then my indicator just goes right down. We got a little rainbow. We'll bring him over here. I'll take it. Got him. Just another little planter. We'll pop it out, toss him back. There he goes. Yeah, there's this giant fallen tree right here, and it gets really deep. As I was walking up, I spooked 3 fish off that shallow part, but I just let that indicator sit right on the other side of this log, and that guy took it. This wind is not helping us though. It's making it hard to cast, and it's blowing my indicator across the surface too fast. Oh, there was one. Dang it, missed a pretty solid bite there. Dude, this is ridiculous. I literally can't get one cast with this freaking wind. It's impossible. If I had waders and I could actually position myself exactly where I need to be, might be a different story, but I literally can't. I'm just like wasting my time. Fish on, big brown. Of course, like again, I turned my camera off because I just wasn't getting into nothing. And we just hooked up on a large brown trout right here underneath this grass. Look at that. Oh, no way, that's another whitefish. Holy crap, it's a giant whitefish. That's a massive, oh my gosh, got him. Dude, no freaking way. I don't know what to say. This has been a day of ups and downs. I'm getting really frustrated and impatient because the wind's been blowing at my face the entire walk up this creek, and I just haven't been able to even get a good cast. And dude, I just threw it right up against this grass, slowly let it drift to me. He bit right there, right in front of me again. I thought it was a big brown. It's another giant whitefish. Freaking, I mean, I don't know how big whitefish usually get. So is this like a monster, or is this, you know, kind of average? I don't know, but it's like a grayling sucker mix with a tiny little mouth. That's kind of cool. Just got him in that little black nymph again. Such a cool looking fish, man. We'll get him back. That's also my biggest whitefish in my life. That first one I caught like 7-8 years ago, I think he was pretty small. He's holding himself upright, so he's good. He's probably just pretty tired. There he goes. Look at that. That is sweet. Yeah, he's fighting the current. He's holding himself. He might just need a rest there for a minute or two. Feeling such a roller coaster of emotions right now because this wind is frustrating me like crazy. I mean, I can't even really get a good cast. Here we go. I haven't even been able to get a good cast. I've covered a ton of water and only caught one other little rainbow. But then I just caught a giant whitefish. I'm pretty sure that was pretty big for a whitefish. So I'm like happy and pissed off at the same time. It's a weird emotion. I know what you guys are thinking. I'm thinking the same thing. Can we eat one of those? Yes, you can. I mean, I've seen them on the menu at restaurants. Apparently whitefish are like, they're really good eating fish. I'm like 95% sure you are allowed to keep them here. If we catch another one, then obviously that means that there's quite a few of them in here, and I'll double check the regulations, see if we can keep one. That'd be kind of cool to do a whitefish catch and cook. It's something that I probably won't have very many opportunities to do again. There we go, another one. Another one. What is that? Is that another whitefish? Oh, he came off. Dang it. Oh, no way. Look at that. Bro, I just ripped that fish's lip off. Look at that. Let's see if we can do some identification. That looks like a brown trout right there. Darn it. Yep, there we go. Just lost a big brown. We took his lip though. There we go, there's a fish. Another big whitefish. Oh my gosh, bro. What? Another giant whitefish. Yep, he's staying down. Whoa, dude. Okay, I'm like 90% sure it's a whitefish. It's either a whitefish or a big brown. Oh, come here. Come here. Yeah, it's a whitefish, bro. Oh my gosh. Come here, buddy. Come here, buddy. And got him. Bro! Third whitefish of the day. Check that out. Settle down, bud. Settle down, settle down. Holy cow. Not as big as the last one, but not a bad size. You know what? I'm gonna check the regulations real quick and see if we can even keep this guy. Whitefish. Whitefish, the limit is 10. But let's see if there's a specific limit for this creek. Sometimes certain creeks have specific rules. Oh, right here. Yeah, there's no specific regulation for these guys, so the statewide bag limit applies, meaning we can keep 10 of these guys, but I'm only gonna be keeping one. All right, he gone. Feels so weird keeping a whitefish. This is the 4th one I've ever caught. Never eaten one before. They remind me a lot of Arctic grayling. If that's what I had to guess they'd taste like. Probably taste like grayling, and I've had grayling. But I'm gonna give a couple more casts at this spot, and then we're gonna head back to our truck, try to find a non-windy place that we can fry this guy up. All right, so we're gonna do some tailgate cooking. It is getting dark out here because we had to run into town to get some propane because I forgot, well, I didn't forget, but the bottle of propane that I had was completely out. So we had to run into town, got a new thing of propane. So hopefully we're gonna have enough time to cook that fish. First time ever catching and cooking a whitefish. I'm telling you guys though, this looks just like a grayling. That's basically all it is. We'll see if it tastes like a grayling. That's insane. A bunch of little insects of all different sorts, sticks, bunch of gross stuff. I mean, these fish, their mouths are so tiny, they can't eat anything much bigger than, I don't even know, like a bee or something. Since this fish has scales, like it's not like a trout. Trout have very, very tiny scales that you don't even have to really do anything, but this guy, we're gonna go back and forth and descale him because we do not want to be eating those. I mean, those are legit scales. Scales do come off really easy. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cut some slats in the meat to help the seasoning, the butter and seasoning get down there, and so it doesn't curl up in the pan. And there we have it. Fresh whitefish. I mean, this was not what I was expecting to do today, but this is gonna be interesting. God, I need to clean this stove again. I did bring bacon and hash browns out here. The original plan was to cook breakfast, but when I got here earlier, the wind was already so bad that I didn't even want to bother with it. But man, I do kind of want some bacon. so we'll let that bacon cook down, and hopefully we can get a nice little bit of grease going on. And then we'll cook the whitefish in the bacon grease, and we also have a little bit of butter. That's a cool looking fish. And you know what's weird? It smells just like an Arctic grayling, and you might be thinking, what the heck? But I'm pretty sure the scientific name for an Arctic grayling is Timalis arcticus, and they're supposed to taste like thyme, like the spice, thyme. And that whitefish smells just the same as when I cooked a grayling. Like, it's a very familiar smell. It might be kind of weird, but who knows? Maybe this fish will taste like thyme. All right, that piece is done. We do have a good bit of grease in there. All right, so we've got bacon grease, and we're gonna add a little bit of butter. And I went ahead and cut his tail off just so he'd hopefully fit down in the pan. Might have to squish him, but here we go. Ooh, just barely kind of fits. As he cooks, he'll hopefully shrink, and then he'll fit a little better. There we go. We're gonna cover it up too to just lock that heat in there. And you know, make sure it doesn't really dry out. I've got the heat on the lowest setting possible. Hopefully this fish turns out good. I'm not sure exactly when whitefish spawn. I'm guessing it's in the spring because I know grayling spawn in the spring. Maybe the reason I caught 3 of them is because they're getting active, getting ready to spawn. This fish didn't have eggs in it. I don't think it was spawning. Hopefully not, because when they do, they don't taste very good. One time I caught and cooked a grayling that was spawning, and it wasn't very good. I don't know, we'll see. Bacon's good. Ooh. Okay, so it's cooking fairly slowly, and it's not really shrinking a whole lot either. Ooh, I mean, the skin's getting golden brown. Yeah, it's cooking right there. I think I'm gonna wait till the very end to season it, because I just want to try it straight up on its own, obviously with the butter and bacon grease. Ooh, I'm gonna pull this skin off. If it was a little more crispy, we might try it, but I do not like slimy fish skin. No, thank you. And that is some good looking meat right there. Nice white and flaky. Let's try a piece. This side's all the way done. And there we go. Fresh whitefish from the creek. This was not what I was planning on doing. First time ever having whitefish. No extra seasoning. Okay, it's actually not bad. The texture of it is really good. It's soft, but kind of meaty at the same time. That doesn't make any sense. But it just doesn't have a whole lot of flavor. Granted, I didn't season it, but it's been cooking in butter and bacon grease. Oh, baby. Okay, we got to go for the old classic lemon pepper. Best fish seasoning, one of the best. Oh yeah, that's gonna do it. Got a little more right there. Look at that. So the meat just slides right off the bones, just like a trout. We'll even kind of drag it through some of that butter and bacon grease. Ooh, that looks tasty right there. Cheers. Ooh. Ooh. I am going to be fishing for whitefish much more often because that's a tasty little fish. I really like the flakiness. It's like flaky soft, but also kind of firm at the same time. I know it doesn't make sense. Ooh. Folks, that's actually freaking good. I will say the meat is nothing like a trout. Completely different texture. It's just like an Arctic grayling. So if you've ever had a grayling before, that's about what you can expect. So this side got a lot more charred, a lot more crispy. The skin's really crispy. So you know what? First time ever eating a whitefish, we gotta try a piece of the skin. That looks pretty good. That is thick skin. Okay, probably don't eat the skin of whitefish. I don't like skin anyway, so I'm probably just gonna toss it no matter what. But we just tried it there. It does taste a little bit like bacon, so that's, I mean, that's good. But that is thick skin. You gotta chew it a little bit, and I felt it going down. Trout are just a lot more, their skin is like paper thin, so when you cook them, and a lot of people say that trout skin is their favorite part, but whitefish, the meat is really good. Don't eat the skin though. Got about 2/3 of it eaten up. I'm gonna finish it up, and then we're gonna head out of here. Unfortunately, we don't have any more time to fish. I think we're gonna end today happy. What did we end up? We caught 3 whitefish, 1 big brown, 4 rainbows. But if you're in an area with a lot of whitefish and you've never tried eating them, they are not bad at all. Got a couple little small pieces left in there, but there you go. But I think that's gonna do it for me out here. Hope you guys enjoyed. Not the last time we're gonna be out here chasing big browns. I think I'm slowly gaining my confidence with river fishing. Maybe that's what we're gonna do for the next few weeks. Just hop around to a bunch of different creeks and rivers. We're gonna get her done. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. I would really appreciate it. If you wanna check out the reel I was using, the PC Fun Sword 3 and 4 weight reel, I'll leave them linked in the description below. And if you want to check out any spinning reels like the Carbon X, when I'm not fly fishing, I'm using the PC Fun Carbon X reel. So go check out some of their stuff. They've got all sorts of, you know, freshwater and saltwater gear. And if you wouldn't mind, be sure to use my promo code BNT18 at checkout, and that'll get you 18% off. But other than that, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.